We live in an era where nothing is what it seems. Dark truths are unveiling, but we are going from dark to light. We are awakening. I want to help you to stay positive. Keep your vibration high by using your own inner strength. You can be your radiant self. Use the light and love which you already possess. With 10 Days of Lightness, I want to inspire you to connect with each other just by being. Feed the positive timeline by spreading light in your own neighborhoods. No words needed, just be still. Take a candle, go outside and connect. Yes, welcome again to the last day already from 10 Days of Lightness. My name is Eva van Zeeland and you're watching Miss Natural Talk Show. And 10 days already, full of lightness, full of light, full-hearted people who will connect with us. And we've got a really special guest again today. Please let me know if you can hear me properly. You can do that by leaving a comment in the comment section. We are live at YouTube and Facebook. And take a candle. If you don't have a candle, you can use my virtual candle in the right-hand corner, and then you can subscribe to the channel as well. And let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop them as well, and to have a nice evening with me and my guest. I'll put some branding on as well with the extra lights and the glitters. And I hope you had a really good day. Yesterday we had thank you that you're responding, Martin. Good that you say that you can hear me. Thank you very much for that. Yesterday I had Martina on the show. We had a really good laugh. I can always have a good time with him. And today his wife or partner joins me, and her name is Joy. They also called the power couple. So I'm really curious about her as well. She's a psychologist with otherworldly ability to see what you don't see, and even in yourself. So a lot of people are seeing things that we don't see, that other people don't see at the moment. But I think she sees more than I mean by that. So I'll take I'll take the stage with her today. Welcome, Joy. Nice to meet you.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to be here. I love that I'm the 10th guest.
Yes, last best.
So we're going to light our candle.
Yeah, we're going to do that. I've got my candle here.
Okay, here we go.
Is that a joy candle as well, like Roy had yesterday?
Well, yeah, he snuck my candle yesterday, and I was just, as we were getting ready for the show, I thought, okay, better look at this, and it was still wrapped in the paper, right? But that's a little dangerous, fire and paper together. So yes, it is the same candle. I actually have two candles going on, because I've also got this very old-fashioned candle that also needs cleaning, that I was given for my first wedding. So a lot of light going on here.
Yeah. And what does light mean to you, Joy? Or lightness?
Well, in the essence of who we are as human beings, we are beings of light, right? So if you boil everything down to the essence of our energy, that is light. So I have really enjoyed reading Dr. Jacob Lieberman's work, and an eye doctor, explaining how we really see and how our body feeds off light. So that really changed my way of thinking, and taking it from a spiritual point of view of, yes, we're light beings, to a physical point of view, right? This is physics.
Yeah.
Light that can be measured, photons in our body. And that made me realize that, our connection to nature, to the light, sunlight is essential for us to be able to thrive. And, Jacob Lieberman says we need 3 hours of sunlight on our body every day to function optimally.
Yeah. And then Bill Gates want to block the sun.
Yeah, interesting, right? There are a lot of interesting things going on that are preventing people right now to go outside, to be in nature, and to also feed off communities. So we're really in a kind of phase in this global evolution of shutdown in many different ways. So it's such a beautiful challenge to rise to, because what we need to do now is find that light within us. And we might have read about it. You may have had an experience every now and again that was enlightening, but are we really ready to believe that, to know that?
Yeah. And to step into the light. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that can be a scary process. You see, when we step into the light, it sounds so grand, but you see, what does light do? Light will shine its light on everything. So it's going to bring also, the darker parts of you out. It's going to bring those parts out that we prefer to hide because we judge them. And so it really is a very confrontational process, I think, this stepping into the light, being visible,
Yes.
being ready to be judged by others, especially in an online world where, anybody sitting behind a screen can leave a nasty comment, can judge, can do whatever. That can feel, a little scary sometimes. So I think the most important thing that we can do right now is to have practices in place every day that we can really diligently do, so that we can keep that light within us going and not start dimming it.
Yes. And Joy, I think your video is frozen for a moment now. Um,
What should
so
I do about that?
yeah, I'm not sure because
I
I
can
can still hear
refresh
you.
my browser, but then I'm worried I
Yeah,
might
you
lose.
can do that.
I'll
You're
try
still
that.
on the air there. Yeah, maybe that works. So I'll bring you back in, and yeah, that's really nice to talk with her about how she sees the light. Maria, Louisa, thank you for letting me know that you can see me as well. Yeah, Joy Martina is joining us
Back
again.
again. I hope it's working now. I've refreshed
I'm not
browsers.
seeing you right now.
I'm not seeing me at
Yeah.
all now, but you can hear me, I
No,
hope.
no, you're invisible.
No?
Maybe one more time. Yeah. Okay. One more time. So if you're watching right now, you can join us, talk with us. And yes, she is back again. Let me see if she is on screen right now. Yeah, there's no.
That's so strange. I
doing
have a
the-
black screen
yeah.
too. This is Mercury retrograde at its best.
No, we had image.
Just now.
Was no. Is this from your telephone or laptop?
No, this is from my phone because my iPad wouldn't connect. So this was already
Ah,
trying to get it this way. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do about this, but we could continue
no,
talking, because I think, see your beautiful face. People saw me at the beginning.
no.
And that will give you the opportunity to just focus on my voice. And I'm told, I have thousands of people sleeping to my voice. So
Okay.
there's something maybe about this not having a picture. So let's make the best out of it.
Yes. Okay. So then I'll just put my face on screen, and yeah, you are still. People can hear you.
That's right. And you can do the sign language in between.
Yeah, I'll make some extra moves. But have you always had these abilities from a young age, and did you already knew what to do with it?
So with these abilities, I'm guessing you mean the extrasensory perception ability.
Yeah, that you
So
see what other
the
people don't see.
psychic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, we all are psychic. So we are
Hmm.
born psychic, but what happens usually in childhood through education and well-meaning caretakers and things like that, is that we shut down those senses because they're not nurtured. They're not ones that were taught to explore in school. They're usually insights that can sometimes rattle others. So when children are, because they are so connected to the quantum field, to their abilities to pick up things that we can't with our normal senses, when children often say things that are coming from that world, their caretakers around them, their parents, will react in a maybe frightened and maybe judgmental way. And so we learn not to listen to intuition, which is really sad, because
Yeah.
we all have it. And so, yeah, I had it definitely as a child. I was a very fairy-like child. I loved being in the woods, making fairy
Mm.
houses. I lived in my own dream world. I read a lot. And, I still grew up in a childhood where we had no screens. We didn't watch TV. I didn't have a phone. So
Okay.
we had a lot of options to explore outside. And then when I grew up and I hit puberty, that's usually when it happens. Our brain changes its frequencies. So, when we're children, we're born in delta frequencies. So
Hmm.
delta brainwave states are deeply relaxed. You and I will only get there when we sleep. But children up until the age of 2 are in delta. Then they switch
Ah.
into theta, and theta is still a super relaxed brainwave state. That's what we go into when we meditate deeply.
Hmm.
And children from the age of 2 to 7 are in theta. So they're naturally connected. And then when we get into puberty around 12, 13, we switch from alpha into beta, which is the frequency that most adults are in most of the time. But you see, the beta frequencies are very chaotic brain frequencies. They're all over the place. They're very
Yes.
erratic, very frazzled. And if we're in that brain state most of the time, it's not surprising that our body starts shutting down, our senses shutting down, because you see, our body
Mhm.
is primed for survival. So we're going
And
to do
Joy,
everything.
can I talk to you about binaural beats? And because I'm testing now the
Exactly.
neurophone. You know
Mm-hmm.
the neurophone from Patrick Flanagan?
No, I don't know that, but I know there are a lot of amazing things right now getting the
Yeah.
brain into feedback.
Yeah, it's to bring the right and left brain in coherence.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's really.
So,
I find that
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, so if we look at what psychic senses are, and we say, okay, at their core, it's about being in a relaxed brainwave state, having a clear intention, because you've got to know what you want to tune into. Once
Hmm.
you're open and your left and your right brain hemisphere are balanced and you're this perfect sender and receiver of information, it takes you as a conscious creator to decide, what do I want to tune into, what frequencies? Because I can dial into angels, I can dial into demons, right? Literally. So once you've decided that, it's more just
Wrong
practice.
connection then.
Yeah, well, maybe a connection that's not very helpful, and that does happen. So I think a lot of the fear that often comes around psychic abilities comes from those stories of people who kind of lose their mind doing it. So I'm
Mm,
really big on teaching people that no, it's not about losing your mind, it's about sharpening your mind. It's about training your brain to function better. We're only using such a small capacity of our brain most of the time. It's such a waste.
yeah. 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 No, I think we use a really small amount of our brain, and that we are more focused on the right half, I think, than on the left. That's all the education all about.
No, well, actually, that's the left. So if we're
Oh, it's
focused
the other way
normally,
around. Sorry.
that's right.
Yeah.
The left brain is the rational brain, the logical
Yes.
mind, the strategic one, and the right brain is the creative brain, the feeling mind, the emotional one. So when we're conditioned by normal schooling and upbringing in societies that we live in now, we're being trained to use our left brain, but not so much our right brain, and we're not being taught how to use them together. So that's why I created a whole program for children to teach children how to train and stay tuned to their intuition and how to
Yeah.
become really conscious creators of their reality. Because you see, when we start teaching children, A, they're much quicker learners, and B, we're saving ourselves so much trouble later on in doing, psychological work with them and confidence work and all that stuff. If we start young, we'll
Mm,
have great leaders of the new world, and we really need them.
yeah. Yeah. That's true. And Joy, you have children as well?
I do have a bunch of kids. So I gave birth to 3 children of my own. I have 2 sons
Oh.
and 1 daughter. And then I have a bunch of bonus children. So I have over 5 stepchildren because
Ah.
I was married before Roy, and I had 2 little girls that I raised as well. And then Roy has 2 sons. And then Gracie's dad also has a son that I was part of raising. So I have
Oh, really?
I've
Big
always been
family.
around children, and only recently did I notice when some of my children started leaving home, I noticed, oh wow, I miss that connection. Children are such life givers, they keep you young. So that was also part of the reason why I then decided I want to focus on helping kids more.
Yeah. And don't you find it hard being a parent and yeah,
To
it's
juggle
so,
all the roles.
yeah, I've got 3 children, twins, they're 10, and a girl, she's 5.
Well, yeah, children are our best teachers. I've always
Yeah.
said that they're our best unpaid coaches, although we do pay a lot for them, right? A child is expensive.
Mm. Yes, yeah, yeah. I find it challenging, and I'm not like the mom. Yeah,
It's
I
my
call
theory.
myself. Yeah, because I really enjoy working as well and spending, yeah, doing some stuff for myself as well. But yeah,
That can be a challenge. So I have actually a
yeah,
few tips written down that I thought our listeners might enjoy, because I know that we all have a lot of roles that we need to juggle. So we might be parents or not, but we might be caretakers of others. We'll have a job. We'll have a role as a partner, a role as a daughter or a son or whatever. So we all juggle so many roles. And I
yes,
think the thing that creates most stress is the time management. the time management and the priorities that we set. So again, I believe most of us, and especially for women, we have been conditioned to serve first, to serve others first, and then
Yeah.
maybe if there's time left, you can look after yourself. Well, that screwed us up. That's how we're
Yeah.
messing us all up, because we're running around as totally depleted, overworked, exhausted, frustrated, slightly angry people. And then we're expecting to create better stuff from that state. And that's not going to work.
No,
So
that's
that's
not
why
possible.
my great call to everyone right now is please start diving into self-love. It's not egotistical. It's a narcissistic behavior to go around pleasing everybody else and not looking after yourself. So
Yeah.
please check in with yourself of what would it take for you to choose you as your top priority. Because when your cup is full, when you're happy, when you found your joy in life, when you're doing what you love, then you can give so much more to others. And that's why I wrote down a few tips of what I believe are some rules that we might want to follow right now that will help
Okay.
us through these difficult times. Are you in for that?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
everybody wants to have some tips to survive 2021.
Right? Well, here's the thing. I suggest let's not just survive, let's thrive in 2021. Let's
Yes.
be
Oh,
the
I made a
odds.
T-shirt which says that, Joy. I made a
I like
T-shirt.
that.
It says I survived 2020 and I thrive in 2021.
There you go. So here are my best tips to thriving. Number one is find your flow. The key to finding your flow is to own your own timing. You've got to create a schedule for your day that works for you, where you then plug the others in. So that means that we all have cycles of activity and then
Mhm.
rest, recreation, and contemplation. Some of us are trying to work on activity most of the time, and we're not making time in between for a bit of rest, a bit of recreation, a bit of play, a bit of contemplation about what am I actually doing right now? Is this serving my purpose? Important questions.
Yeah,
So,
you mean
what's
during the day or during the month?
during the day,
Yeah,
every
during
day,
the day. Yeah.
you need to be asking yourself, what is the one thing that I need to focus on right now? And that one thing should be leading to your purpose, mission, goal in life. And you've got to decide what is that one thing. And sometimes that one thing will be active, doing something. But sometimes that thing will be no, take a break, contemplate on this, meditate maybe, move your body, do something else, because that's where we get creative. And then the
Yes.
next thing is that we need to decide how much of each do we need to stay in our flow zone. Yes, we want to challenge ourselves, but we also need times in between to rest, to integrate. And I think some of us are going full throttle the whole time. And that is just not productive nor efficient. It's not smart.
No.
Then I think a very important piece right now, where some of us are sharing space with people that we might not be used to spending so much time with, is that
Mhm.
we all create our own sanctuary. You know, it doesn't have to be a house, a room. It can be a corner in a
Yeah.
room. I
Or
have
the
friends.
toilet.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
mums whose sanctuary is a cupboard. They have a big cupboard that they emptied, and that's where they climb into when they've had enough of the world.
Really?
Yes. So never underestimate the importance of having your own little space where you can
Yes.
take a time out. And especially in families with children, everybody needs to be able to take a time out. Some people you have to send in a time out. So I remember, my kids when they were little, we'd have this agreement when our conversation was no longer kind or helpful or wise or whatever. We would say, you know what, let's take a time out. Let's just
Yeah.
bank this for now. You go take a break, I take a break, and then we'll convene again. So creating your own sanctuary can be a real healing place. So I was really thinking on this today for this show, because I wanted to share something that everybody could do at home, wherever they are, however little or much space they have, however many resources they have right now. But we can all create our own sanctuary if we have the following components.
Okay.
We need some form of light. Now, that
Mhm.
light could be the sun if you're in the garden. It could be a happy light. You know that you can order these lights
Yes.
online that create sunlight without the harmful rays, but they're really important for the brain. So you could put up a little light like that. You could light a candle. You need some light that signifies, okay, this is my space and I'm now turning it on.
Yeah, I
Then,
find it a good tip, Joy, to have this kind of light on my desk because nowadays I'm more inside in the winter, and if
right?
you get a natural light, yeah, good
It's
tip.
so good for the brain. You'll notice your energy levels will go up. It's
Hmm.
one of the
Yeah,
key
I'm
things
really pale
to.
as well. Oh.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, so we've got light figured out.
Light, yes.
Then we want to create some beautiful atmosphere through our smell, our olfactory system. So we
Mm.
want to really target every part of our informational channels. So we've got the light, we've got the smell. For that, I love
Essential
this.
oils, you mean
That's
then,
right.
or
Yes,
incense? Yeah.
that's right. I prefer essential oils to incense because they're a little kinder to the lungs, and you can
Hmm.
use healing oils that will have beneficial, effects on you too. So I don't know, frankincense or peppermint are nice oils to diffuse. If you don't
Hmm.
have a diffuser, well then boil up some water, put a few drops in, and steam over it.
Yeah.
Really focus on the sense of smell, your breath. That's another key part. You want to use your breath to control your mind. So, one of my big role models is the yoga teachers who has since passed on, called Tao. And Tao was a yoga teacher over 100 years old when she passed. She
Mm.
taught yoga until the very last day. And when she was asked, what is your secret to longevity and being so youthful? She says it's pranayama. So the
Mm.
ancient practice of breathing, because pranayama
Yeah, you do
literally
that
means.
with Roy, you told me yesterday.
Yeah, I'm passionate. I force everyone in my family to do pranayama with me every day before they breathe.
Pranayana. Okay.
There's no dinner before we haven't breathed. That's how simple it is. So, pranayama literally means breath of life. And it's fabulous anti-aging tool. It's great for anxiety. It really calms the mind down and trains it to get focused. So we've got light, we've got smell, then we add sound. With nowadays, we've got
Ah,
so many amazing playlists. You can go online and you can get binaural beats, like you were mentioning. You can get whole
yes. Yeah.
tones. You can get mantras. I'm a fan of chanting mantras because there you're using your voice.
Yeah, voice liberation. Yeah.
That's right. You're really coming at the system from all angles. So one of my favorite mantras to chant is Ad Gure Name. It's a protection mantra, and you can
Ah.
look it up. There are many versions of it, and it's basically bowing to the wisdom of all ages, bowing to the wisdom of your intuition. It's a beautiful mantra. Look it up, Ad Gure Name, and that will all help your brain go into that healing zone of the theta. Then, if
Mhm.
you have little gadgets, like I have my Healy, which I love, it's a frequency medical device. I can put a program on. And if I just have 15 minutes, 15 minutes of chanting, breathing consciously, getting those aisles in, vibrating in that sound, you're creating your own healing space. And I think that's what we need to tap into. We need to own our responsibility for looking after ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. We really have to do that. Yeah. Uh, Meanwhile, I'm sharing all the things you're saying on the chat,
Oh,
so
you're great.
people
Thank you.
can find it.
The voice in the dark.
No, I've got a picture of you now on screen.
Ah, I hope it's a nice one.
Yes.
Well, and you see that the medical background to these tips is when we practice something as simple as 5 count breathing. That's literally when you just count from 1 to 5 as you breathe in,
Hmm.
and from 1 to 5 as you breathe out.
Hmm.
And you remember a happy moment. You think of someone that you love. You think of a bunch of flowers, just something that makes your heart go, mmm. And
Hmm.
when you combine that compassion, that feeling of gratitude with this 5 count breath, you're training your vagus nerve. So your vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It goes right from the gut up into the brain. And researchers have found that when our vagus nerve is flexible, if it's well trained, then our response to stress becomes better. We literally
Yes.
become more flexible. We also stay healthier and live longer. So, a simple thing like that, can you count from 1 to 5 when you breathe in? I think so.
Yeah.
Can you do the same when you breathe out? I think so. Can you think of something nice? Because you see,
Yes.
when you do that, we're in our mind going into a sanctuary as well. We're creating a happy place. So it's something I teach children, for instance. I say, you've got to go to your happy place before you go to sleep. And then
Mm,
whenever you're feeling unhappy, take a breath, tap your points, and go to your happy place. And a happy place can be a beautiful place in nature. It could be a pyramid with rainbow colors. It can be a castle in the clouds. It doesn't really matter. Just
mhm.
somewhere where you feel safe. So your whole nervous system can go, ah.
Yeah. Yesterday I brought my little girl to bed, and she's at the age that she's scared in the dark, like me, and
Mm.
is afraid to sleep alone. And um, but yeah, then you can give the tip and what's your happy place, and yeah, where you're afraid. Yeah, she
Yeah.
hears sounds. And the house is making sounds as well, of course.
Yes, yes. And you see, those are archaic patterns that are triggered in us. The fear
Yeah.
of darkness is a
But don't you
natural
think
fear.
that maybe she is maybe seeing things that I can see? That's possible.
That's very
You had that.
possible too. That's very possible too. And it's very normal for children to go through that fear because it's also the fear of letting go.
Yeah.
Sleep is the deepest sense of surrender that we know as humans because we have no more control. Our conscious
Hmm.
mind goes to sleep, but our unconscious mind wakes up. And that's where we dream and we go places, we astral travel. And children, of course, know that too. And then we have the whole attachment to mom, the whole thing of feeling safe in life. So those fears are really natural and normal, and they're beautiful to transform at that age. So you can
Yes.
transform it by telling a beautiful story about a hero who overcame their fears and then realized that they're stronger than those. So the ritual of bedtime stories is so powerful.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. We do that every night, and
Mm.
it's
So I've
really
created a
lovely.
few brain trainings for children. If you get fed up of telling stories, I have a few I can offer you. And I've
Well,
set a
it's a
little
Joyful
challenge
Kids
for
on
myself.
your website. Joyful Kids.
Yes, we have a free webinar that you can watch, the Joyful Kids webinar. That's where you get the nuts and bolts of the program so you know what it's about.
Okay, I will share it in the chat as well. I'll
Thank
come
you.
to take a look. Yeah.
And then we have a 1 day training, and that's where you can become a Joyful Kids ambassador. So that's you can be a kid yourself, or you can be a grown up. That's if you care about children, or you're a child yourself, and you
No,
want
you
to
do
learn.
co-presentation with your daughter, Grace. I
That's
see.
right. She's now 11, and she taught the
Oh,
program
nice.
with me. And yeah, and we included a bunch of meditations that work really well as bedtime stories because I set myself this challenge to see how quickly I could get children to go to sleep at night.
Ah, yeah. I didn't watch this yet, so I will take a dive into it. It looks
Lovely. I'd
really,
love that.
yeah, looks really nice. And you're
Thank
looking for teachers for Joyful Kids around the world as well. So if people are watching to become an ambassador,
That's
that's
right.
also.
You don't need any previous training. You just need to care about kids. And I think the kids are that link for our future that could be brighter than what we're
Yes.
looking at right now. And they're the ones that are also suffering most right now. And
Yes.
that really touched me so hard that I decided I had to do something. And I
Mm.
really hope that this program will go viral because it's really quick to learn. And you can help someone within 5 minutes just by changing their focus, just by giving them a simple little tool so that they feel more in control of their own life again.
Yes, yes, yeah. Today I talked with the teacher of the school of my twins, and just a regular half year call, and yeah, we talked about breathing, and it's really easy for a teacher just to start a class by breathing for 5 minutes with the whole
Yes,
class.
yes,
If every teacher would do that, that would change a lot, I think.
yes. Just imagine. Well, sounds
Yeah,
like you're on board. Let's spread that word. Because it
yeah,
really is, we don't need any extra resources. We don't need tools. All we need
no,
to learn how to help ourselves. And I think that is what this time is really teaching us.
yes, yeah. Ah, really nice. So were that all the tips? You had the light and the smell and the sound and
And
the
the
breathing,
vibrations, that's
the
right.
vibrations. Yes.
So when you combine all those, you're really setting yourself up for success because you're taking care of yourself, you're prioritizing yourself, you're making sure that your state stays in a high vibration. And that really is the key to conscious and joyful and effortless manifestation. You've got to have a clear vision of the future that you are aspiring to reach.
Yes. And have you always had a clear vision of what you, yeah, wanted to do in life, Joy?
Yes, I've always been very clear on my next desire. I've never seen the whole plan, thank God, because I would have often wondered, and I don't think I would have had the courage to say yes. But by the universe just, always delivering that one next step, you never
Yes.
know what the outcome will be. But you have to have a vision of that life that you would like to live, that feeling that you will have when you are your best self. And that, thank goodness, I always had. I always was a dreamy girl. I was always dreaming up my future. And you know what? All those dreams have come true. And that really gave me enormous faith in myself. And because I can do it, I know that everybody can do it. I'm not
Yes.
special.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal human like everybody else.
Yeah. You know how the vibration works, and that it's important to stay in your high vibration to attract more what you want. That's, I think,
Right? You
what it
get
is.
what you focus on most of the time.
Yes. So no news watching for you as well.
No,
No
I don't do
drama.
that. That
No.
depresses me too much. I check in every now and again, but Roy is usually my newsreader. I'll talk to people and I say, so what's the latest? Give me an update.
Oh
And
yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
give
Give
me
me
an
an update.
update. And then I usually tune out again and said, okay, on we go. What's most important for my
Yeah.
mission right now? And that does tie in sometimes. But I think if we spend most of the time listening to news and dealing with so much negativity and stress, then we mustn't be surprised if we create more of that in our own lives.
And do you believe it's really important that we, as a collective, tap more into the new world we want to create instead of being afraid of what might come to us?
Well, I think we just answered that question, didn't we? It's a choice. It's a choice that everyone can make for themselves. What do you want to focus on? Do you want
Yeah.
to focus on all that's going wrong right now? Then you will create more of that. Or would you like to focus on that vision of the future where it is possible to live on a planet that is healthy and happy and where we have more cooperation and compassion and collaboration and wise using of resources? I do think it's possible, but we need millions and millions of people to keep dreaming that dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Me
thank
too.
you for doing this, Eva, because that's part of holding that light for that future.
Yeah, I think as well, and it's yeah, a little thing to contribute, but everything is important. So only if you're not making a show on YouTube, you can also work on yourself by doing the breath, doing the meditation, and then you work on the collective. Then 1% of humanity is healed. So,
That's
and
right.
yeah, so
That's right.
that, yeah, that's really important. So, have you got some? Did you hear about the dating website I'm going to launch 14th of February? And
I've
I
heard
hear,
something about it. Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
and you were doing something similar. I heard from Roy.
Well, we're having so many offers right now because so much is happening in technology, from holographic projections to all kinds of new apps that are
Oh
coming.
yeah,
So we're excited to be invited in quite a few platforms to add our wisdom and the things that we think are important. And I think especially dating it has changed already so much.
yeah.
And people are ready for some really smart apps that do more than what the ones that are doing now.
Mhm.
Or the
And
Bumbles and
how
Tinders,
did you
whatever.
met Roy? Was that at an event, or how did
Yes,
you? Yes.
we met. So Jai and Rai met in Oi. There's a tiny place in Bavaria called Oi. Seriously, and
That's
I
funny.
had booked the workshop to become a Omega Health Coach. I did the training, and that's where we met.
And then instant connection, or
Yeah, but it was a very, I mean, we're going to write a book on it one day. We've told the story quite often, but I was in this over full workshop room and I was pretty grumpy because I was like, geez, there's so many people here. I don't like this. And yay. And then at some point there was a Q&A where you could, if you had a question, you could stand up in front of all these people with a microphone and ask your question. And I don't know, at some point, something just lifted me out of my seat and I was standing there with the microphone in the hand. I don't know what question I asked. And then something happened. I just suddenly became aware of the teacher that I was, following. And then I thought, whoa, it was like a bolt of lightning. And then I sat down again, and the girl that was sitting next to me, she says, oh my God, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? And I was like, nope, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because I was so not interested. It was not what I wanted at that time. I had more decided I'm going to stay away from men. It's just too much drama. I can't do this. But then bam, we fell head over heels in love. And although we both tried to resist a lot, we ended up getting married. And it was one of the smartest decisions we've ever made.
Ah, beautiful story. And here you are a Scorpio as well, like I am a Scorpio.
I am a Scorpio. That's right. So
Yeah. And my husband is the same as Roy. So it's really
a
I
Libra.
think yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think Libras can be good for Scorpios because they keep us calm in a certain way,
Yes, he's
and we're
calmer
good
than I am.
and we're good for the Libras because we put a bit of fire up their butt.
Yeah. That's true. So you have a lot of fire as well, Joy.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, fire and water and all those elements, I've learned they need balance. You can't just go for one. You can't just be all fire. You'll burn yourself.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah, water element as well. Yeah, yeah, really fun. Yeah. So, okay, in 5D dating, then we will do more with astrology as well, and life path numbers, and the Chinese zodiac, and I think that's really important as well to look at
Absolutely.
the
I would
planets.
also, yeah, I would also add things like compassionate communication, the love languages. There's so much great work out there that can help us in relationships right from the start.
Yes,
Also the fact of that we all need agreements, and hardly anybody makes agreements when they get in a relationship. I mean, even Ryan and I didn't really make it. We got married, and then afterwards we figured out, what does this actually mean?
yes.
What is going to be our version of this marriage? And I think if we did that at the beginning and got clear on our values and the vision of the relationship that we have, and we shared that with each other, we could, avoid a lot of trouble later on.
Yeah, but I think that's because you suddenly grow into a relationship, and it's not like a point like in high school. So then you say,
It
"You
changes.
want to be my yeah." But yeah, and then you forgot to make this agreement, and it's not like romantic to make agreements with, but it's really
I think
necessary.
it's
I think.
super
Yeah,
romantic. It can be so
yeah,
hard. It can be so hot and so confrontational to really say, okay, here's what I need to be happy, because
yes,
that's really putting yourself out there. But in your relationship, that's the most important place to do it. Show up
yes.
with your most authentic self. So yeah, that takes courage.
Yeah, I made the decision to with myself that I didn't want to make concessions anymore in when there will be a new a man in my life, that I would be loyal to the things I find important. So
Mm.
of course it's giving and receiving in a relationship, but on certain things I don't want to give. That's what I really love from life, and what I really want to do, and how I'm happiest. So I don't want to make concessions for that.
So there you go. That what are your non-negotiables? That
Yeah,
might be a tip for
non-negotiables. Yes.
all listeners. What if you were to write down your non-negotiables? It's really a powerful exercise to do.
Yes. Yeah. And you can still do it if you're already married and together for 10 years. It's
Absolutely,
never too late.
especially then to check in. How am I
Yes.
doing as a wife? How am I doing as a husband? How many points am I going to get? I do that with my children too. I say, okay,
Yes.
let's do a mama check-in. How many points am I getting as a mama right now?
And you do
And
that
they'll
right
give me
before their birthday.
and they'll
For
give me their
Christmas.
evaluation, and then I'll give them their evaluation as a son or daughter. It's fun. I think we just
Yes.
need to talk more in families, real
Yeah.
conversation, not this nonsense that we often talk
No.
about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good one to keep in mind, to sit down with the family. We I once a year before the new year, I make a bucket of it's a pot with the wish can, I call it. So everybody can write down a wish, and we put it in the jar, and then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the in December, then we open it, and then we see what, and maybe somebody wrote snow, or the holiday, or new bike, and yeah, it's really fun to do
Mm.
as well.
That's a nice
Okay.
way.
Yeah, yeah, just to make creations. I'm all about the vision boards as well, as you can see, and now making mind copies. So yeah, really in the creation stuff.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
So
Well,
Joy, I really loved your tips about staying in your high vibe energy. So that's really important, and how to shine your light. Is there more you want to share with us? What's what's your plan for this year to do?
well, I got a lot of plans that might exasperate the listeners to listen to all that, but I would love to invite all listeners to our upcoming Sleep Your Fat Away challenge. So I created a program 8 years ago together with Rye called Sleep Your Fat Away, and it's that missing link in weight loss, as we feel. It's the mind piece. to get your mind on board with this goal. And this year we're launching a self-love challenge because, Sleep Your Fat Away actually is about falling in love with yourself, loving your body again, really feeling comfortable in your body and being a conscious eater and all that. We've put it in a 5-day challenge that people can join. And in those 5 days, we're going to be connecting daily and we're going to do a clearing session. We're going to really start clearing up that unconscious sabotage that can pile up and then end up in physical fat. But that physical fat is often, emotional baggage. It's off ancestral stuff. It can be unresolved issues. In those 5 days, we'll clear some of that. And then it goes on into a 90-day challenge for all those who fall in love with the idea and want to keep going. So I'll share the link with you, and that would be, we already got a big group of international members joining. I'd love some of your troop to join us too. The more the merrier.
Yeah. Sleep your fat away. That sounds great. I just heard on the news they said that if, or was it the news, or was in the car, but they say if you eat a spoon of peanut butter before you go to bed, then you will burn more fat in your sleep.
Yeah, and there's so many stories like that out there. So that's why I created Sleep Your Fat Away, because I got so confused and angry with all the different advice that you will find out there. You will find advice for everything. Vitamin C is good for you. No, it's bad for you. Gluten is good for you. No, gluten is bad for you. You should eat fats. No, you shouldn't eat any fats. So, paleo, keto, intermittent fasting. And how do you know what's right for you?
Yeah, you must listen to your body. Yeah,
that's right. So that's why I created a program to help people listen to their bodies again, because our body is so smart.
And
so
understanding smart. What it's saying. I think that's the key. Yeah. Yes. So maybe they heard their body saying, but but what does it mean?
Well, we have so many voices in that head of ours, don't we? It can be hard to decipher which one is coming from where. Is it intuition? Is it body? What is it? Is it the heart?
Yes. Yeah, I now learned that if it's a lovely voice who talks lovely to you, then it's your higher being or your inner self. And if it's or complaining or say you're not good enough, then it's
a good one to go by. But I will warn you. You can have a very loving voice telling you, go eat that donut.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, that chocolate is so good for you. You've been so diligent and hard. Go ahead. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah. You deserve it.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't have the food problems. That's I'm not an emotional eater. I'm just eating when I'm hungry, and so. But
that's rule number 1 in Sleep Your Fat Away: eat when you're hungry. But many have lost that natural connection. So anyway, I'm happy you don't have that either.
Yeah.
But if anyone does want to, I'm using it personally as a kick boot camp, so that I can use those days to really up my game in fitness. And I'm going to do, our house is doing a juicing in that time. So whatever version of boot camp anybody wants to do, you're free to do it. You're just getting the mind peace and the community support from me.
Yes. Okay. And are there some secret supplements you take as well to reverse anti-aging and rejuvenate?
No, I don't believe in extra supplements to that extent. I believe more in frequencies. So for me, my supplement are my frequency healing devices. So the Healy, I have the Biocharger, the Tesla machine. So I am a big believer in frequencies. I think that's the way medicine is going to go. It's frequency and light. If you go to all the alternative health conferences, there's some amazing things out there. And I've been lucky to be to a lot of them. And I tell you, it's light and frequency is the future. Supplements.
Have you already tried the harmonic egg? You know
that? You lie inside?
Yes. Really nice thing, I think. Yes. Yeah, that will be the future sound healing, I think. The frequency.
And frequencies, Well, we've got fun times ahead of us. Thank you so much for making time to allow me to talk to your audience, Eva.
Yes, you're welcome. And I wish you all the luck with everything you will do in 2021. And maybe we talk to each other again. And shine your light, Joy.
Thank you so much, babe. Shine your light, everyone. You're worth it.
Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye. Yes. So that was Joy Martina. I hope you enjoyed the last episode of the Global 10 Days of Lightness. I did this 10 days in Dutch and 10 days in English, and I'll will be back in with my talk shows just in het Nederlands. For all the people who want to talk Nederlands. Nou, I really enjoyed it, and I'll leave you with my clip, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe and feel free to support with a donation. Eva van Zeeland is a truth seeker, activist and talk show host from the Netherlands and loves to dance through life. Her main mission is to help with the Great Awakening and show you how to live from your heart and have a carefree, playful and exciting life. Please help humanity by sharing this video. We are all in this together. Stay in your high vibe, energetic state and see you next time.